A controversial call, a dramatic equaliser in the 97th minute, and a manager absolutely fuming at the officials. What happened at the racecourse on Saturday has everyone talking, and it could define Wrexham's entire championship campaign. Alright Wrexham fans, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we're covering the Red Dragons like nobody else. Every match, every story, every bit of drama from the racecourse ground. Today we've got three absolute crackers for you. First up, Phil Parkinson's hit a massive milestone that puts him in legendary company. Then we'll dive into the academy lads and what they're building for Wrexham's future. But stick around for story number 3 because it's the one everyone's buzzing about. Controversy, late drama, and a result that's kept our championship dream alive. Let's get into it. Story 1. Phil Parkinson has just managed his 200th league game for Wrexham. Let that sink in for a second. 200 matches in charge of this football club. And here's the mad thing. He's only the 6th manager in our entire history to reach that number. We're talking about joining the likes of John Neal, Brian Flynn, Dennis Smith, proper Wrexham royalty. But Parkinson isn't just reaching milestones, he's absolutely smashing records while he's at it. His win percentage, nearly 60%, 59.8% of league games won. That's borderline ridiculous when you consider we've been through 3 divisions under him. For context, Andy Morrell, who set loads of club records himself, managed just over 51%. Parkinson's in a different stratosphere. He's won 67.7% of all available points during his time here. That 2023 National League season, only 3 league defeats all year, 3 in 46 matches. It's the 5th fewest losses in Wrexham's entire history, and the only sides with fewer played way back when we had 20-game seasons. The Gaffer's taken us from the National League to the Championship with back-to-back-to-back promotions, the only club in English football history to do that. Tommy Bamford dominated the record books for decades, but Parkinson is doing the same thing in the modern era. Absolute legend. But that's not the only story coming out of the racecourse this week.
The under-18s picked up a solid 3-1 win away at Notts County last weekend, and while that might not seem headline-worthy at first glance, there's something brewing with these young lads that Wrexham fans need to pay attention to. Craig Knight, the professional development phase lead coach, was in charge for his first match with the under-18s, and he was refreshingly honest afterward. The young Red Dragons stormed out of the gates, 2 goals in the first 7 minutes from Kian Nolan and Oumar Nawaz. Sounds brilliant, right? But Knight reckons going 2-0 up that quickly actually worked against them. The lads got a bit complacent, turned sloppy, and Notts County pulled one back early in the second half. Wrexham steadied themselves and grabbed a third through an own goal. But here's what I love. Knight said the players identified their own mistakes afterward. They knew they got careless with possession, didn't manage the game well enough. That's the kind of self-awareness you want from academy players. And next up, FA Youth Cup at the racecourse under the lights against Port Vale. Knight's buzzing about it, the lads are ready, and honestly, this is where Wrexham's future starts taking shape. Reynolds and McElhenney aren't just investing in the first team, they're building something sustainable from the ground up. Now, those stories were important, but what I'm about to tell you next could completely reshape Wrexham's season. This is massive.
Saturday afternoon at the racecourse ground. Wrexham versus Blackburn Rovers. We're trailing 1-0 deep into stoppage time. The crowd's getting restless and it looks like our 8-game unbeaten run in the Championship is about to end. Then, everything changed. 97th minute, Ryan Barnett gets fouled down the right wing. Referee Tom Reeves awards a free kick. George Dobson whips it in. Kiefer Moore heads it down. Nathan Brownett has a go and Max Cleworth smashes it home. Absolute bedlam. The racecourse erupts. 1-1, point secured, unbeaten run extended. But here's where it gets spicy. Blackburn manager Valérien Ismaël absolutely lost it after the match, and I mean properly fuming. He called the referee's decision to give that free kick disgraceful. He said it was a terrible call and demanded the EFL do something about officiating standards because these decisions are costing teams points every single weekend. Ismail didn't stop there. He told the press, "It all comes down to the referee with the disgraceful decision. At some point, it has to stop. We need better quality. It's as simple as that." Strong words. He reckons Blackburn should have wrapped the game up earlier. They had chances in both halves, but that free kick decision took 3 points away from them. Now, let's be real for a second. Was it a foul? Depends who you ask. Blackburn fans reckon Barnett went down easy. Wrexham supporters say it was clear contact. The referee thought it was enough. In the Championship, these 50-50 calls happen every week. But when it's the 97th minute and it leads directly to an equaliser, of course the losing side's going to be furious. But here's what nobody's talking about yet. This result isn't just about 1 point, it's about momentum. Wrexham are 9th in the Championship table right now. 9th. Let me remind you where we were 3 years ago, battling in the National League, hoping for a playoff spot. Now we're sitting in the top half of the second tier of English football, and we've gone 8 league games without a loss. Phil Parkinson said after the match, "Can we keep chipping away? Can we get into January in a challenging position? We're just going to keep working hard as a group and we'll see where that takes us." That's classic Parkinson. Steady, focused, no wild promises, but you can tell he believes this squad can push for the playoffs. And why wouldn't he? We've brought in new players this season who are still bedding in, still learning what it means to play at the racecourse when it's the 95th minute and the crowd's roaring. Parkinson mentioned that specifically. The new lads have come in and had a great taste of us going to the end in games. Time and time again here, we've got late winners and we've got a late equaliser. That's Wrexham's DNA now. We don't give up. We fight until the final whistle. It's been like that since Parkinson took over, and it's been amplified since Reynolds and McElhenney bought the club. The Hollywood ownership brought global attention. The documentary brought millions of new fans. But this mentality, that's all Parkinson and these players. Here's the thing though. December's gonna test us. Next up is Preston away on Saturday. They're 5th in the table. We beat them 3-2 in the Carabao Cup back in August, but league matches are a different beast. Then we've got a packed festive schedule with matches coming thick and fast. If Wrexham can navigate December without falling off the pace, if we can stay within touching distance of those playoff spots going into January when the transfer window opens, then this season could genuinely be something special. But one bad run, one injury crisis, and we could slip down the table just as quickly. So what happens next? Honestly, it's all about consistency. Parkinson's teams have always been built on solid defending, hard work, and nicking goals when it matters. That's how we got promoted twice. That's how we've survived in the Championship so far. The question is, can we do more than just survive? Can we actually challenge? Wrexham fans are divided on this. Some reckon we should be happy with mid-table security in our first Championship season. Others, and I'm leaning this way, think with the backing we've got, with Parkinson's experience, with the players we've brought in, why not dream bigger? Why not push for those playoffs? What would you do if you were Parkinson? Play it safe and consolidate, or go for it and risk everything? Because that's the decision he'll face in January if we're still hovering around the playoff spots. So there you have it. Parkinson hits 200 league games and cements his legacy. The academy lads are learning what it takes, and Wrexham snatch a dramatic late point against Blackburn while their manager fumes at the officials. Here's what I think happens next. We go to Preston, we show the same fight we showed on Saturday, and we prove we belong in this Championship playoff race. This club's been on an incredible journey from the National League to where we are now, and I genuinely believe the best is still to come. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you confident about Preston, or are you worried December could derail us? Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds.